everybody. Welcome back to the Angel Angle. I am Brand. This is my father, Mike, and this is the podcast for everything Angels baseball. And it is finally here, and it has finally happened. We have completed almost the first week of the regular season, and your Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California, of the United States, of the galaxy are 4-2 to start off the year. We had a 4-2 road trip, which, you know, when you put it in that perspective, to start off the season, 6 games on the road, and to come out of it 4-2. You're taking that every single day of the week. We do currently sit on top of the standings in the AL West, and everyone might say, Brandon, it's only been 6 games. To you, I say, I do not care, and shut up, you're stupid. We are on top of the standings. I think we have a higher run differential than the Rangers, which is why we're first, because I think we're tied with them record-wise, but...
not quite, but okay.
We are, right?
We are, but they have a plus 14. We have a plus 13.
So then why are we?
They went by alphabetical order.
Well, the L comes first. L comes first in the alphabet, and that's superior. So that is
L over T.
That's how they do. Well, I guess the tiebreakers are determined by how you face off against them in the regular season, right?
I don't know. All I can tell you is we're both 4-2 and we're above them. I'm guessing it's alphabetical because our run differential, we have a plus 13, and if we wouldn't have had that 11-2 affair, we would have even looked better.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're all about here. Yeah. So, but we did watch opening day together.
Yes.
We had some family over. Had my girlfriend over. We watched opening day, and it was very eventful.
Failure.
It was awesome to sit through that and watch them lose.
We had quite the discussion afterwards.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of Aaron Loup haters out there, including this guy right here.
Yeah.
Let me make something very clear. I understand in the very first month of the season, maybe the first 2 months of the year, last year, he was a little rough. And that just planted the seed in every Angel fan's mind that, oh my gosh, Aaron Loup comes in and blows games. That's all he does. It doesn't take someone with that large of a brain to just take a quick peep. You don't have to go into the deep stats. Just do the basic briefing to look at Aaron Loup's numbers and realize, oh, he wasn't a bad reliever. He wasn't a great reliever. He was a good reliever. It doesn't take a pea-sized brain, more than a pea-sized brain, to look at that and realize that.
Well, I guess this is my thing. You know, it's all about.
No one. It does not make any sense. Just type in Aaron Loup, Baseball Reference. Look at his year. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you covered Aaron Loup's name and you just looked at the numbers and you said, is this a good reliever? You said, yeah, it's a good reliever. I guarantee you would do that to any other baseball player. But then you unveil the name, it was like, oh, it's Aaron Loup. He sucks. He's washed.
Well, look, I think because Loup and Tepera last year were not what we thought we were getting for the money and amount of years we spent on them.
Right.
And so automatically we expected much more from them. And in late situations last year, I mean, we had a lot of crash and burns. It wasn't just Loup. Our bullpen was the blow pin, okay?
It wasn't that bad.
Last year?
No.
Well, it was still... Well, our starting pitching is what saved us last year. It wasn't our bullpen.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, it wasn't. It definitely was still a sore spot. We lost a lot of late inning games due to that. Well, we know the real reason, too, was we just couldn't hit anything. So you're not going to make too many wins when you can't come back from giving up a run here or there.
And I love you too, Ryan Tepera. But opening day, yes, Aaron Loup did blow the game. I think he was quoted saying, what did he quote saying? That he was scared out there. It was the most embarrassing game he's ever pitched.
Yeah.
Guy feels bad, all right? Guy feels bad. And, I'm sick and tired of the Aaron Loup slander. So for all you people on the Facebook groups out there slandering Aaron Loup, come at me, man. It's not that hard. Just look it. It's a mid-3 ERA. He's pitching 60 innings. He had an under 1 home runs per 9. It was around 3 walks per 9, around 8 to 9 K per 9. And his FIP it was lower than his ERA, which means his ERA, or it was around the same area as ERA.
You know me and the style I have. My style is you go with the hot hand.
He is the hot. He is the consistent hand.
Wait. No. I am a big believer in managing less and letting your best and the players that are hot play and go in. So my big thing is, and it's still early, so we don't know how Nevin's going to run with this. I get Nevin thought, hey, I'm going to go with these guys we're paying a lot of money to. But honestly, what other reason was there than what he brought out? They didn't bring out the new guys. They said, okay, we're going to go back to the old Loup and we're going to go back to the old Tepera, right? But my thing, and we got the same result we got last year, which was close games. We struggled.
Well, also when you score one run against Oakland,
I agree.
It's a problem.
We know there was a lot of different things. It was opening day. It was one game. We're horrible on opening day for some reason. The last 10 years, we've won one game.
We suck at opening days.
We just got to face the Reds every year. Wasn't that the only team we beat?
I think we lost to the Reds.
Well, who was it? Who was the
White Sox?
White Sox. Okay, we'll face the White Sox every season then to open this. We got to talk to the people who do the scheduling.
Yeah,
and stop
rough.
facing Oakland. It doesn't matter how bad they are. We always struggle with them on opening day. What is this? 4 times now we've opened date in
That's
the
been
last
a lot
5
in the past
or something?
couple 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous. So at any rate, Aaron Loop and Tepera, yeah, it's painful. I just don't think. I think
painful.
guys should have to prove where you put them. And I know it's early, so right now we don't know that.
They did prove it last year.
No, but
yes, they did. Just look at the number. It's not hard. I'm not telling you to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
They're going to the Sierra and their spin rates and all that stuff. No. It's just a simple,
let's look at
brief on the surface level.
Okay.
You cover their name.
Yeah.
And you ask yourself, is this a good reliever? Now, I didn't say great reliever.
Okay.
I didn't say a fantastic reliever.
Okay.
I say, is this a good reliever? Everybody says yes. That's a decent, that's a good reliever.
Okay.
It's not the trash that everyone's making them out to be. And I'm sick and tired of the slander, of the Tepera and Luke slander.
Okay. The slander.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Are they paying you under the table?
Yes, a lot of money.
I figured. There had to be something there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. We don't want to kill all our time with Loop and Tepera.
First game of the year, not how we wanted it to go. Second game of the year, it was mouth-watering. All right, 13-1. We got to face Fujinami.
Yeah.
Poor guy had his mom in attendance. He was really, really good for the first couple innings.
He looked really good.
We could hit him, and then it was a third or fourth inning? Third, I think.
Third, yeah.
The wheels on the bus came undone. 11-run inning. I was actually driving up to Los Angeles at that time for a wedding I had to be at, and I was like, oh, while driving. I very responsibly, by the way. But it was a lot of fun. Only 1 run given up, and I think, look, for this opening week, here's the silver lining. Besides yesterday's route that the Mariners had on us, 2-11, right? You look at the first 4 games we had. How many runs did we give up? Was that 3, 4, 5, 6? We gave up 6 runs in the first 4 games. That's pretty darn good. Only 6 runs in 4 games. Yeah. And then we had the route where they scored 11. And today we only gave up 3. So the pitching staff so far has been very, very good.
We've scored 33 and allowed 20.
That's good. That's going to win you ball games.
Yeah, and that's in 6 games.
That will win you ball games.
Yeah, we're giving up a little over 3 runs a game, which is, and we're scoring a little, what do we have? 8, what did we say? 6 games?
What are you talking about?
How many runs we're scoring? Like 6. We're a little over 6 runs, and we're giving up a little over 3. So
that's a pretty good margin. Yeah. The only game that has really been really tense was today's game. That was the first game where it's been really tight. Besides opening day.
Well, the good thing was
opening day. You just knew we were going to lose an opening day.
But the big thing was for me. I was telling Brandon I was at work, so I caught a little of the beginning, and I caught when I came in when the game was 2-1, and I said, "Oh, let's not do this to Ohtani again. He's going to come out after 6 innings." And we're gonna have a 1-run lead with our
Ohtani grinded, by the way.
Yeah, no, he did
not have a good game.
I watched his first 2.5 innings, and then I had
that man has nuts of steel. He grinded out 6 innings, 110 pitches, 111 pitches. He grinded it out.
Yeah. So I wasn't able to watch a lot of it, but I caught a little bit of it, and I saw him score the 2 runs. And I said, "Oh, that's great. At least there's some breathing room." And I said, I'm not gonna be able to watch and look again till later. So I went to go hit my phone, and I'm just like this, waiting. Okay, please don't tell me they blew this 4-1 lead. Please don't tell me. And it said 4-3.
Yeah.
And I had to immediately go and say, who did it? I said, please don't tell me they brought Loop in.
Yeah.
Because I said,
when they had
people
runners
will have
on,
their throat.
When they had runners on with Ohtani, they were warming up Loop.
Yeah.
And so they had to go to Moore today. Yeah. They went with Moore. 2 outs. He had a little single, and then they brought in Slim Jim Herget. Herget got kind of batted around a little bit, but then he came in the next inning. They brought him out again, which I thought was interesting. And the way Nevin managed the bullpen today, very interesting. I had no clue what he was doing, but it worked out in the end. I mean, I really don't. I understand because I mean it's what are today's called? Runaway game? what are these called?
Getaway.
Getaway. It was a getaway game today.
No game tomorrow.
No game tomorrow. So you, in my mind, if they're available,
yeah.
you deplete it.
Yeah.
In my mind.
I don't. The one guy I like, and they didn't use it all today. I was surprised when I went back and looked. Was Wance.
Today, meaning April 5th, by the way, if you're watching this on a Thursday or something else. April 5th, the Angels beat the Mariners 4-3.
Yeah.
Is to make them 4-2 in the year, but they did not bring in Wance. You seem to like Wance.
Well, I'm not saying he's this great pick, but I'm just saying he's looked good so far, and he looked good in spring. And I'm just saying he's a young guy. I think I don't see why not. Why wouldn't you use him in like a seventh inning? I mean, he's not an eighth, ninth guy, but I think he's a good seventh inning. Then that pushes him more back. I know they didn't want to use Estevez because they used them back-to-back games. You know, and we had Lupin Tepera left, and I know no one wanted to see either one of those guys today. So, you know, that didn't leave them a lot of choices in the bullpen because we're carrying that extra starter in our bullpen, which kind of messes us up too. So, you know, having Tucker Davison, by the way, 4 innings of shutout ball. He looked great, which has been awesome. So
that is the one thing I like about our bullpen is that a lot of guys can go multiple innings.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that style of bullpen. Like you just kind of put a guy out there for multiple innings.
And that's where I'm talking the hot hand. If you got a guy and he pitched good in 1 inning, put him out there in another. I hate this. We got to worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today and make sure we seal a game. If you got a guy that's got it that day, I don't care. Run him out there for 2, 3, whatever he can do. Who cares? I mean, at this point, we don't have a defined bullpen right now. We don't. You could throw anybody in any situation. I'll be honest,
like you look at the bullpen, you could seriously throw anybody in any role.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't make much of a
difference.
That's
what I'm saying. So right now, it should be you bring somebody out and they're doing well. You better not mess with it. Let them go. And I love that. Well, I mean, I know why he had Tucker Davison go because he has to simulate another start for him because eventually he's going to get that start. So you don't want to make him be doing a bunch.
Also, that we had a big enough lead to the point where you don't want to use the guys you might want to use maybe tomorrow in high leverage situations.
No, and I agree. Well, it was kind of like yesterday's game. Or yesterday.
I totally agree with Maria's role there. Where
I do.
It's a lost game,
and I'm glad they didn't bring
him in.
There was no reason to bring someone else in. I totally agree. I mean, you might as well get the bugs out now. Let him work through what he needs to work through. We weren't coming back in that game anyway. I'm glad we at least put a couple runs up because you don't want to get shut out.
But very successful for opening week. There was a couple Angel occurrences. Anthony Rendon has already found his way on the suspended list. He's already been suspended. Only 6 games into the season. It was on opening day after the first game. There was a fan in the Coliseum. He was, I guess, the reports were that I read that he was hollering at the Angel players because I think he was seated behind their dugout. He was like throwing some pretty nasty stuff their way the entire game. And then as the Angels were walking back into the clubhouse, he was right there, and he just kept on throwing a bunch of nasty stuff at him. And finally came up to Rendon's turn to walk past him. I think he hurled a B word at him, and Rendon did not like that, and he decided to get up to the railing.
I think Rendon was a little frustrated, but he had a great spring, and then
opening
day he didn't look good.
Through. Yeah.
And so I think he was a little frustrated by his performance, and so I think, again, no excuse. I mean, the bottom line, you can't grab somebody.
Oh, I loved it.
Well, I'm not saying.
It was good stuff.
No, what I'm saying is you can't grab somebody. So we all know that. Doesn't matter. I mean, if it's the same thing at my work, I can be mad at somebody if they want to get in my face and we go back and forth. It is what it is. But you can't put your hands on somebody. I mean, that's 101 in anything. You just can't do that. So it doesn't matter what field you're in. You just can't put your hands on somebody unless they were doing it to you. In other words, you were defending yourself. But he called them over. It is what it is. He got suspended. At least it's early in the season. I will say one thing.
I had a lot of fun with it.
The one thing, I will say this one thing. I mean, I wish he was here because we need his bat and we need his defense.
It lengthens out the lineup a lot.
And his defense at third, I mean, we've had 2 errors back-to-back games by our third basemen that played. So we definitely miss his defense, and his bat's going to be there when it's all said and done. So, but yes, I think that our depth, because we also are without Walshy.
Yeah.
And I think that's showing our depth already in this lineup. Now, it hasn't looked great because basically after you get past the first three, none of the rest of them have been consistent. Well, other than Ohapi, which we'll talk about, and Urshela.
It's really been Drury and Renfro who are off to kind of slower starts.
Yeah, I mean, definitely both of them haven't. Lamb's looked okay. He's had some good hits in there.
Well, the fact that we have Lamb's really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it ended up working out because imagine if we didn't have them. So we didn't know we weren't going to have Walsh.
And besides the errors, by the way, the defense has looked really, really good. Like there's been really, really good plays.
Yeah.
Except for the errors.
And they've both been throwing.
Throwing errors. But besides that, the defense, if you looked at the game today, Taylor Ward had a really nice catch in the outfield.
I mean,
Drury had a great play at first base.
You know our defense is doing well when you can close your eyes and catch a ball with your other hand in the outfield. That's catch.
And Hunter Renfroe also had the catch of his life.
Yeah.
Behind the back, no look catch.
He didn't know how he did it. Neither did Shohei Ohtani or the rest of the team.
Neither did Wayne Randazzo in the booth. No one knew what was going on. But
that was crazy. That was fun. I mean, that actually was the highlight because we ended up losing that game. But the one thing you kept going back to was
that catch.
Have you ever seen a catch like that before? No. I mean, the best thing was, if you want to say this, he totally misread that ball, misplayed it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, oh, it's coming the other side. He just starts to turn his head and he's like, well.
It wasn't even that. It was more just kind of like a.
Yeah. Yeah. And like he saw it coming this way. I mean, you could see him looking back there and he's like, oh, it's coming. It's somewhere right about there. Oh, there it is. And it was so good because he didn't even act like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
He just kept running, didn't even face anybody. He kind of keeps trotting over, and then he kind of turns around with a smile. So, I mean, at the beginning, you're like, he almost acted like, I knew I was going to catch it. Which
he had no clues.
No, he didn't. But he played it well.
Yes,
he played it well. That was fun. I mean, that at least had some highlight for us on opening day because, and Ohtani, of course, is Ohtani.
And the fact that Angel Baseball is back.
Yes, and it's just fun watching baseball, even though it stresses me out. I was hoping this new offense would get some runs, so we'll stop. I mean, last year, I felt like every game we were either down or up by a run or two, and it was always stressed to the end.
The offense has been there. The only thing that kind of worries me is it's been a lot of power, except for the one game where we beat Oakland 13-1. That was a lot of base hits. But so far, a lot of our runs have come via the long ball. There hasn't been so much, consistent next man up, base it.
Well, and really the power's come from 5 guys so far, or 4 guys.
Trout, Ohtani, Ohapi.
It's been 2 from Ward, Ohtani, and Ohapi, and 1 from Trout. That's it. They've had 7 home runs in the first 6 games.
Yeah.
So, who was it? One team had 7 home runs in there. Was it the Mets?
The Brewers.
7 home runs in 1 game. We've had 7 in our first 6.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it doesn't matter. What matters is I don't care what the stats look like as long as we're getting results, and we just need to win series. That's it. And today was a big game, and for that reason.
Today was a big game
because you don't want to go on the road trip when we lose to the A's. It would have made the A's loss on opening day look worse if we would have lost today. So to me, it's like winning each series is huge. So to me, hats off to the Angels. I don't care. They found some way to pull it together, and they even used your favorite pitcher.
I'll tell you why they won. It's because they brought in Jose Quijada to close out the ball game. And let me tell you something. If you guys have listened to any other Angel angle, I'm a big Jose Quijada believer. And he is not, because he believes that he doesn't know where the ball is going. And let me tell you something right now. I know he doesn't know where the ball is going. And that's what makes him so freaking awesome. He doesn't know where it's going. All he knows is one thing. I can throw this little rock 97 miles per hour and it's going somewhere in this vicinity. Good luck.
Yeah.
And he's just jamming it down your throat. Because I think they showed the splits on that guy. I think he throws, it's got to be over 70% fastballs. At least 70% fastballs. That's all he does. He just jams fastballs down your throat. And he's jumping off the mound. He's jumping. He's doing weird things with his pants. He's picking it up and he's getting set again. And I love Jose Quijada. I know he gives you a heart attack.
But he does. But you know what? Can I say this? There's not one person in the bullpen I'm comfortable with. So whether it's Quijada or Matt Moore or Estevez or Loop or whoever, they're all going to, well, he gives me a different level of nervousness. But but there's nobody. That's the problem right now, and a little bit the reason why I'm a little scared. We'll see as time goes on if somebody, one or two guys step away.
There's going to be a couple guys in our bullpen this year that are going to separate themselves.
I'm hoping,
and when they come in, you're going to be like, okay, we're fine.
Well, I know, but right now I don't feel that way about anybody.
I know.
And so
it'll take time.
It makes it a little nerve-wracking to
We'll
watch
get there,
games.
but we were talking about that closer situation. I talked about Jose Quijada, and I told you he has that bulldog mentality, and I'm just glad that Phil Nevin seems to agree with me on that one, and not Slim Jim, Jimmy Herget, because he brought him in the 7th and for the 8th.
And I love, Herget's one of my favorites. So.
I love, trust me.
But I didn't get to see him come into this game.
Trust me.
I did see that.
I love Jimmy Herget too.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. You want someone closing out the game. You want a guy. You don't want a guy comfortable up there. You feel like you're going to die when Jose's on the mound if you're in the box.
Yeah, because you're afraid you're going to hit you in the head.
Because no one knows where it's going.
Yeah. That's true. I'll give you that. The problem is he's very hittable because his ball's very straight. Because he only, what is it? 90% of his pitches are fastballs.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and so when he misses and it's somewhere in somebody's hitting zone, kiss it goodbye. So that's the only negative to him.
Well, that's why he throws 97, so that in case he misses a spot, it's still hard to hit it.
Yeah,
it's not 92 mislocation. It's 97. It's a big difference.
I get it. Can we say this?
And it's a violent delivery.
Can we
too.
say this? That's because we're going to try to keep this under 30 minutes today. But let's talk about Logan O'Hoppe, our Rookie of the Year. 8 RBIs. He leads the Angels with 8 RBIs, 2 home runs. The guy has been amazing. He struck out only 4 times. I thought in spring he didn't look great. He was striking a lot in spring training. And, he struck out a little bit, but, and he's basically played in 5 of the 6 games. He's only struck out 4 times. He hasn't walked. He's obviously not a walk machine. He's up there to swing the lumber, which is fine with me. He's batting .278. Again, it's early. But I guess the question is, what do we do with Matt Stassi? Or what do we do with Theis when the time comes?
You suggested that we give Max Stassi a very long rehab assignment, which could be...
I think we do. I think we give him a very long rehab assignment. There's a part of me because, I know we're all down on Stassi because of the year. The year before that, Stassi had an amazing year.
Yeah.
And looked like he was going to be that up-and-coming catcher. And he took a big step back. So... where is he? He didn't play much in spring. They started him really late, and then they stopped him because of family issues.
I think he has a lot of family issues,
and then some hip issue going on. So, or whatever they're making up. I don't know. But I feel bad for Stassi because I like Stassi as a person, and he's probably a better catcher than Theis. So.
Oh yeah, well he's probably the best defensive catcher.
So what I'm saying is what do we really do with Theis? Because eventually, when Stassi's going to be the backup, I can't see them handing it back to Stassi. I think O'Hoppe is already showing that he deserves the starting role. He's young. You got to give a young kid like this an opportunity, And I think Theis might be the odd man out at some point.
Well, it's either that or
Lamb goes.
But then when Walsh comes back, then what do you do then?
I know.
I think it's just Theis
and we don't know. And the sad thing too with Walsh, that guy was just killing it in spring, and it looked like he was back to the old Walshy. Now he's taking 2 weeks off because he's at that rehab center for his headaches and his sleep deprivation insomnia, whatever he's having. So yeah. So I don't know. We'll see when he comes back. It's just, think about it. We went 4-2 and we're missing two main guys. You can call Stassi one more. He was supposed to be our starter. So we're missing 3 of our starters, quote unquote, and we're still hanging in there. That shows our depth. For the first time, even though the depth really hasn't been great, but they're still professional guys. It's
better than Jack Mayfield and Magnerius Sierra and
whoever else they threw out there that I don't want to think about. Yes. So no, you got to look at it and say our depth has saved us. We get Rendon back Saturday, so we only have one more day. He has to go right.
He's gonna miss opening day, the home opener.
The home opener, and then he'll be back on Saturday. So thank goodness we get him back in the lineup because we need his bat. He'll come.
It just lengthens it out.
It does in his defense. No one plays third like him. We
Yeah.
don't have a third baseman that even comes close to matching him. It just, you're right. It lengthens. It makes us a stronger and a
Makes
better
us
team.
scarier.
And we weren't supposed to be using Drury and Urshela and these guys every single day. They were supposed to be pieces that they moved around. And another one that hasn't looked good, sorry, your other favorite player, Fletch, has not looked good. Not looked good. His at-bats haven't looked good. Let's hope. I mean, it's early, but he hasn't looked good. Fletch has not looked good. So we'll see what ends up happening with Mr. David Fletcher.
Shut up. All right.
10 at-bats, 1 hit, and he looks lost.
He does not look lost.
He looks lost.
He does not look lost.
He looks lost.
He is a man with a plan.
No plan.
He is
That's
a man
been
with
the
a
problem.
plan.
The guy, I mean, we won't go there because we could go on and on about that. But I think talking about that, so we've talked about the hitters. I think we already know what Trout's going to do and what our, Ward's looked awesome. Ward's had a couple of good games.
Yeah.
So I think he's still batting. I think he's the highest batting average on the team right now. So I mean, Ward's been great. Trout's walked a lot, and he's
a walking machine.
He has not struck out as much. I mean, he's played in all 6 games. He only struck out 4 times. That's a big improvement to what he was doing in spring. Spring, he was like the strikeout machine.
Yeah, so all you guys talking about Mike Trout striking out, you shut up too.
Yeah, so
he ain't striking out.
He looked a lot better. He's walked 8 times in 6 games.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. People don't want to pitch to him.
Well, this is the thing, and I think that's what's helping Ward. They're like, okay, we got Trout and Ohtani.
We got to pitch to Ward.
So we got to give Ward something to hit, and he's hitting it. And then they got then he's on, and that puts pressure.
Trout walks. So you got Ohtani with 2 guys on. You can walk Ohtani. Then you have to get through Rendon, Renfroe, and Drury or Urshela.
And I know the rest of these guys are going to come around. I mean, everybody doesn't start out the gate the same, and that's how it is in baseball. You have some guys hot, someone else will cool, someone else will get hot. Eventually, Drury and Renfroe and all these, and then Renfroe's very streaky. His whole career's been that way.
Yeah, there'll probably be a week or two where he absolutely goes off. And oh my gosh,
I know that's how he's going to be. He's going to be one of these guys, but he's still somebody that lengthened and is still a scary hitter. So that just helps protect guys, and that's what you need.
Great defender,
yes,
and a great arm.
Yeah,
we already saw the arm today. He actually threw a bullet to third base. It was actually way off mark, and it got away from Urshela.
Yeah.
But we still got him out. Again, a lot of great defensive plays today. But very, very exciting opening week for the Angels. If you're an Angel fan, without asking too much, this is about as perfect as it probably gets for the Angels opening week wise, I think.
Yeah, we knew we weren't going to be 6-0, so 4-2. I'll take that
and
on the road.
And especially I loved taking a series from the Mariners.
Yes.
I cannot stand to see the Mariners win anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be an ally of the Mariners back when they were us and the Mariners were kind of like the dwellers.
Yeah.
We were kind of like those mid teams.
Well, that's before our ex-GM went over there.
Yeah, you don't like them because of Dipoto.
And I also don't like them because of service. I don't like their manager, who also used to be in our front office. I don't like either of them. So
I just don't like them. I don't know. I just don't like them.
Well,
and then after the brawl,
Dipoto ruined our organization. I don't want to see that guy succeed anymore. That guy made made a bunch of horrible moves for us and ruined our minor league system. So I don't think he was a great GM for us. So I don't want to see him succeed somewhere.
You think
else.
it was like an inside job this whole time? He was
maybe
really always hired by the Mariners.
Maybe Seattle was like, maybe he was really working for the Mariners the whole time.
That would be a cool idea. If you if you
love
hired a guy
theories.
Okay, we're gonna give you a 6-year contract, but you have an offer from the Angels, right? Yeah. Okay, you're gonna be their GM for 3 years. Yeah. You're gonna just completely destroy the organization. Yeah. Then we'll hire you after the 3, and then you'll come.
Yeah, and you just bring the full.
And we'll have a good team for you when you get here. Just a couple extra moves, and you'll be golden. All right, sounds good. Josh Hamilton, 6 years. I'll give him that.
Well, and we'll talk quickly about the starters. Everybody looked good except for Suarez.
I don't care. Jose Suarez is my guy. El Demente!
Well, let's put it this way.
Jose Suarez!
All of our starters, who's the guy that loves to get bombed a couple times and then look
that
like
was
Nolan
the worst
Ryan?
outing of his career, run-wise.
Okay.
It hasn't gotten worse. It has never been worse than that. Okay. And it wasn't...
Well, it's opening day, so I'm not overreacting. I mean, the bottom line is...
First 3 innings, he looked great.
Yeah. No, exactly. What I'm saying is you're going to have those games. Fine, it is what it is. Now, what do we do if his next 3 starts are that way, and you know who is sitting in the minor leagues.
I honestly
Because
think
he's out of options, though.
I
That's
think
the
what you
issue.
do is you just swap Tucker and Jose. You just put Jose in the pen.
But
put Tucker.
remember, Tucker's really that sixth starter, and we're going to start needing him soon.
Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's a future problem.
Okay, I know, but I like to.
Those
are things I think
I don't
about.
get paid enough to stress over stuff like that, right?
But at any rate, I mean, all the starters look great. Our starter ERA, if you just take Suarez out, I mean, Ohtani, he's only given up 1 run in 12 innings. Tyler Anderson looked good. 6 innings, no runs. He looked great.
Reed Detmers looked good.
Sandoval
Looked very
Sandoval
good.
didn't look great. I say this being it was almost like Ohtani's
Start
outing
today.
today. He was fighting himself and still pitched 5 innings
grinded
and
it
only
out.
gave up that 1 home run. I mean, honestly, that's a great sign. I mean, because I don't think his stuff was working. He did not look like
I just
Sandoval.
hope that people start to understand that it's no longer our pitching. From last
It's our
year. It was
bullpen.
not our. No, it's the offense. It's not our starting pitching, and that we actually have one of the best starting rotations in all of baseball.
No, I agree with the starting. I won't argue with that. It really does come down to what is our bullpen.
And you remember when you were talking about trading Suarez?
Oh, I still not. I would still. Hey, Suarez is still not who I want in there.
You don't talk about El Demente like that.
El Demented.
El Demente. Demente.
Oh, Demente. I'm sorry.
That's his nickname.
But I think, anyway, it looks great. We're going. We got another day off. It's kind of a killer right now. It's like you just get back into the action, and now another day off tomorrow.
Yeah, it's rough.
So, but we do get to see the next start from Sandoval, and we are going to have a tough series. We're going to be facing Toronto. They haven't looked great. They've given up a lot of runs.
Not scared.
They've given up a lot of runs.
Not scared of Toronto.
So,
Toronto last year was the team we faced when we went. It was that first team we faced when we went on that terrible losing streak.
Yeah.
That was the team that started it. It was Toronto at home, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That's all the time we have for this week. Go Angels. Amazing opening week of baseball.
We'll be looking forward to talking about how that we went in that Toronto series. So,
Yep.
in the home game. Anybody going to the game? Let us know. Shout
Don't
it
let
out.
us know. We do not care.
Yeah, I want to know who's going to the
do
game.
not.
Are you going to the game, Brandon?
No.
You're not going to the game.
I got a job.
He's got a job. All right. Wow. I never thought I'd hear that.
got a
Okay.
job.
He's got a job. When did that happen?
I don't know.
You've been unemployed for a long time.
It's been on the down low. All right, everybody.
guys. Thanks for listening to the Angel Angle, and we will see you.
Get a life. Spend your
next
time
week.
doing something better besides listening to this podcast, everybody. All right. Have a good
All right.
rest
Have
of
a
your
good
night.
night.